Welcome to this week's weekly card reading. I am Allison, and I am an intuitive, a healer, and a spiritual mentor. Really just here to help empower others to connect to their own spiritual gifts and intuition. It is Tuesday, January 13th, and I have pulled two messages with some cards to share with you. So you just need to kind of feel in to see if card or message one is calling you this week, or message two, maybe both. Just kind of take a few deep breaths and feel into it, and whatever comes, just go with it. If you have a question, feel free to ask that. Or just be open to receiving whatever messages are coming through for you today. Just one quick announcement. I have year ahead readings that have been going wonderful, and two options. So one is just it's a more affordable option, and it's you receive a digital copy of what I have received intuitively, along with cards, and get a theme and for the year, and each month a report on what to kind of expect, what energy to expect. And then the other one is more interactive. So that would be where we meet over Zoom. I go deeper into the intuitive guidance to receive a deeper message to go along with any of the cards. And then you could also ask any questions or beforehand that to kind of be like, is this going to happen this year? Or like, what's my relationship going to look like? What's my career going to, so to kind of focus in on something. And then obviously questions while we are on Zoom in our one-on-one. And with that too, you also get your personal year numerology report. And then the report of the cards so that you can look at it every month and read it. It's kind of nice to have that digital copy instead of like listening to the recording. So those are available till the end of January. After that, I kind of feels weird to do a reading when we've already lost a month. So yeah, if you're interested, then just go to the website, theluminantsoul.com. So this is the cards for, let me just make sure. Yeah, this is the cards for message number one. And these are the cards for message number two. And so let's get started. So for message number one, the cards that I received was soul retrieval and the true source of power, divine will, integrity, power versus force. So I instantly felt like there was something that you maybe need to relook at, or like pull forward. So like maybe an incident or an experience that affected you in a way, whether that's positive or negatively, but there was lessons to learn in that, and not all of them have been received. And yeah, so it just kind of feels like I feel like there's some ends are untied, like they need to be tied up, and part of that is revisiting that experience to understand it from a different perspective, to look at it from a different perspective now that you are out of it. Some of it feels like it could be back in childhood, that this energy is still affecting you now, or it affects how you approach certain things when you're triggered. Anything like that, it kind of feels like, taking that time to revisit that part of you, to kind of understand maybe where these foundations and like limiting thoughts or beliefs and programs that kind of have situated within yourself, where they came from, and how you could look at it differently, or change the narrative around that. And because it feels like, to be able to access your full potential, your full power, some of these things, like back there kind of need to be, tied up, loose ends tied up, because it feels like you've done so much work so far, and you're wanting to, and you're open to, doing the work and healing and stepping into the best version of yourself, and which is so beautiful and so amazing to do, because it's so liberating to have that. But healing is an ongoing process, so I've learned. And being open to being like, okay, like, yeah, I've done so much, instead of looking at it as like, I've done so much, like, oh, I gotta do more. Kind of looking at it as like, you've done so much to get to where you are now, that now you can actually see this hurt, or this situation, or this program clearly. You weren't able to see it because you had to get rid of the layers prior to that, but now it's unburied and you can see it, so now it's giving this opportunity to go back and kind of sit with that. So a lot of times that can be inner child work, just to understand like where this kind of stemmed from. And I do feel like for some of you, it's maybe it won't be in the childhood, maybe like that far back. It certainly might be in your more recent years, of a situation that now that you look back, you're kind of like, oh, okay, like I see why that needed to happen, and just have like a relook at it, to be like, it feels like there's more lessons to learn. Like it feels like there's more knowledge to gain from that situation. So there you go. Message number 2. So this one I pulled, it's the masculine and feminine card, but I did pull it with the masculine card right side up, I guess. And then the serenity of exile, exhale, surrender, radical acceptance. So with this one, I instantly felt the energy of like, okay, it's time to go. It's time to take action. It's time to move forward, type of thing, whatever it is. So whatever your question was, or what you're experiencing right now, it's like, okay, the time for sitting back and waiting and analyzing and preparing and all of that is like, that's kind of coming to an end, and it's time to take action, which is very much that divine masculine energy. And and with that, because I'm even hearing like, you may not have it all figured out, however that looks, but it's like, you like the part of taking a pause and sitting and, all of that, like that pause part that is so essential in many things. It feels like that time has come to an end, and, now it's like, to step forward, and you don't have to have it all figured out, because it feels like with this step forward, this action, the stuff that maybe is lingering, that you're kind of like, well, what about this? And I don't know about this, and blah, 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 blah. It feels like that will be revealed once you take that step forward. It's just like walking on a path, and you see the bend in the end of the road, and you're like, I don't know what's around the corner. It's like, you don't just stop and be like, well, I don't know what's around the corner, so I'm not going to go, and I'll never know what's around the corner. You start taking those steps, and as you're doing that, it starts to reveal itself, like where you're going on this path. So, and I feel a little bit of like apprehension too when I kind of say like, it's go time, and I feel this like little bit like, no, are you serious? I'm like comfy cozy. Sitting and just thinking, and that like step forward is kind of like, ooh, it's scary. So maybe even sit with that a little bit to understand what part of you is resistant to move forward. There for sure could be a little bit of healing to do there, if it's something that you're just kind of like, I'm scared to be seen, I'm scared to fail, and all of these wonderful things that we accumulate over the years of programs and all of that. So that is it. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you next time. Bye.